There is power in personal stories. It connects us, it empowers us, and it holds us accountable. It creates understanding and expands our perspective. This is Big in the Community with Jonathan James at the Kalamazoo Promise, a podcast aimed to highlight local leaders, collaborators, and innovators in the greater Kalamazoo community. In this episode, we sit down with Kevin Ford, Shared Prosperity Coordinator for the City of Kalamazoo. We talk about equity, opportunity, and the power of community-driven change. All right, we're going to get straight into it this time.
That's a little lo-fi.
A little lo-fi?
Shop,
yeah.
Coffee shop intro.
Oh, yeah. And short side note, one of my friends, he actually made the beat.
Oh, that's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's got his own LLC and all that, so
okay.
He makes beats. If you need somebody who, make a beat.
You going to shout him out?
I could. His business is Neon Yellow Games, right? My friend Shay Fernandez. Shout out to you.
Shout out,
Appreciate you. So we already got off on a tangent. If I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way. Martin Luther King Jr. But we're talking about somebody who's big in the community, maybe doing some small things that add up to great things. But I'll let you introduce yourself, sir. I appreciate you being here.
No problem. I appreciate the invite. My name is Kevin Ford. I am the Shared Prosperity Kalamazoo Coordinator for the City of Kalamazoo on the Economic Development Team out of Community Planning and Economic Development for the city. Native of Kalamazoo, Western graduate.
Go Broncos.
Yeah. I did a podcast before for the city, Shared Prosperity Podcast, and we prepped guests. I didn't get prepped for this. I just got an invite. And so, I don't know how long the intro should be. I'm going to just leave it at that so we can have a conversation. But it's like, they just like, yeah, show up at this time and, sign this NDA. And so.
All right. So, former podcast host comes on here, critiques the podcast already. It's fine. So, Shared Prosperity.
Yes.
That's the work that you do. Can you tell us what Shared Prosperity is, its goals, its vision, that sort of stuff? So,
SBK I was hired in 2017, and the bones of it was kind of laid out before I got there. But long story short, the county had a poverty reduction initiative, and it dissolved. And then a lot of people who were involved in that, like city commissioners, other local folks, they pushed for the city organization to pick up that mantle and address poverty in the city. And so when I say the city, it'll be like City Kalamazoo, and then the organization is the City of Kalamazoo, the local government. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, it was a push to do that. And at first, it was like a city commission thing, mm-hmm. right? They kind of pushed it, and they didn't have any money behind it. Some funds came into the picture. I was hired. The position was created, and yeah, in short, it is designed to address poverty in our community. We have about 20 plus neighborhoods in the city proper, and 3 of those neighborhoods have historically and continue to have the highest concentrations of poverty. So East Side, North Side, and Edison neighborhood. And that, in addition to United Way's ALICE work. ALICE is an acronym for Asset Limited, Income Constrained, Employed, which essentially means like you make more and don't qualify for a lot of public benefits, but you don't make enough to really like get ahead. So it's a weird middle ground. But if you take like the ALICE and poverty numbers, like 5 out of 10 households in the city are under that. And again, it's highly concentrated in those 3 neighborhoods, which is a lot of other historical elements connected to that as well. Mm-hmm. They also had the highest demographics of people of color. So, the push to have the city look at this and put this on its radar and priority was something new for the city. And, to be honest, we still learning like how to be better, how to be more effective at that. And the primary goals or the primary pillars from when it started was, healthy growth and development of children and youth, having economically strong families, and increasing access to good jobs. Those things still in play, very important for our community. But the city is now, we're trying to just figure out where is our best lane to really affect change. So, like, it's a lot of youth serving organizations. And so that may not necessarily be the city's primary focus, maybe more partner on that end of things. I'm on economic development, so I'm trying to merge economic development and traditional economic development tools and combine them with that SBK ethos of quality of life, economic equity. We just completed our economic development strategy in October of last year, the first in, I think, over 2 decades. And so it talks about economic equity. It talks about like community wealth building. I'm really trying to, and I'm interested in pushing the envelope on that and see what that looks like, what that can look like from the city perspective, and how to better partner with organizations to kind of move the needle on that.
It's tough stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll shift gears a little bit. We want to know about you. What's your story?
I'm a humble civil servant.
No, we want to go deeper than that.
Okay.
What got you to where you are now? What brought you to public service? That systems level equity work. Even going back to education. How you grew up. As far back as you want to go. Kind of take us on that journey.
I hated school and KPS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why? We're gonna dig deep with this episode.
Nah, I love learning. Anybody that knows me know that I read a lot. I love learning. That's one of, what was that strengths thing?
Clifton strengths.
Yeah. So learner is like one of my main things. So I love learning and learning new stuff. The school system, and I'm not an educator. I'm only speaking as like participant, and I have children in KPS. But the school system, I don't think it was a good environment for me. And so I really didn't like school, but again, I love learning. And so for me, elementary is elementary, and junior high, going through that, it was high school that I kind of just like, I'm kind of cool with this, and kind of checked out. And at the time, was it El Sol used to be an alternative high school, Vine Alternative High School. And so I went to Central and got kicked out of Central for not showing up, and then went to Vine. And Vine was a better environment. They had an outdoor area where the students could smoke cigarettes. A lot of high school students smoke cigarettes, but at Central you couldn't smoke on the campus. At Vine you could smoke in this little outdoor area. You would see students and teachers who were beefing with each other 20 minutes ago outside smoking. Yeah, like both of them stressed out. Like, and it's like, it's just.
I'll just try to imagine that.
Yeah, it was crazy to see, but it was, I would say, genius in the sense that it, after the smoke break, like it wasn't as much problems and trouble. It was like both of them cool now.
Squashed.
Yeah.
Moved on.
Yeah. So, but Central, for whatever, they didn't allow for things like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I had fun time in Vine and learned a lot. And after high school, it was just, it's just partying and BS. I worked, but it wasn't until the birth of my oldest daughter, and she was getting closer to entering school, and then I had a friend that passed, and I decided to go back to school. So I entered Valley, and Valley was a good environment. A lot of good teachers there. Some of them I'm still cool with to this day. And that was a good experience for me. I transferred from there to Western and studied political science with a Spanish major or a minor. And I worked third shift at the time, so 11 to 7, and then would go to Western, in the afternoon. And yeah, got my degree there. I didn't really hang out because I worked, and I was a parent, so I really didn't hang out on campus. But after that experience, back in the workforce, and a little bit later, I entered a master's program, the public administration master's. And so that was kind of twisty curvy how that experience went, but an opportunity opened up for me to like re-enter that program and complete the program. So I did that. I forgot how long it's been. 2 years ago. Yeah,
that's when you finished.
Yes. Yep. And so, in between that, I mean, it was life stuff happening. I acquired 2 felonies before the age of 21. So, that I had to carry that around, and it was, it was self-doubt because of, questioning if I should be in a room with certain people because of that. And because of some legislative changes and a clean slate program, I was able to expunge my record. So that was helpful, big load off my plate. And then in terms of public service, I would say I entered public service via just volunteer service. So with the felonies, it was always a challenge in terms of job acquisition because at the time, they had the box. You had to check a box. So that was always a challenge. And I didn't want to lie about that. And so, unlike a lot of people, I figured by volunteering, 1, it was a way to give back. 2, it was a way to connect and network. So like, same individuals who may look at a piece of paper and see felonies and say, we straight. By volunteering, I was able to establish a relationship. And it's more difficult to have like a bias when you up close with somebody. So I volunteered a lot, and I also did AmeriCorps. This was a great experience in Calhoun County. And that work was largely when the state of Michigan was starting to have folks apply for public benefits online. So, my role was to help individuals learn how to navigate that and help nonprofits like set that up where they provided service. And again, that was another good experience. Like all of the experiences I've had have deepened my empathy and like how I relate to other humans. So the AmeriCorps experience in Calhoun County, and I ain't gonna lie, This sound crazy saying it out loud, but working with low income people, I assumed I'd be working with a lot of people who look like me. I did, but that wasn't the entire. Yeah, places like Albion, Burlington, Tecumseh. I was working with like some rural white people, and it really opened my eyes to this country that we have is a lot of different people hurting in a lot of different ways. So that was helpful. Again, volunteering in the city was helpful. I worked at Griffin Place as a 211 operator, and I was there when the Flint water crisis happened. And at the time, Griffin Place, I believe, was the only 24/7 211 in the state. So they contracted with other municipalities. And so I would take calls from Wayne County, Genesee County, all type of other places outside of Kalamazoo. And that was another good experience in terms of the training you got for that was awesome. To listen, to ask probing questions. I shared the room with folks that worked with individuals who may have been contemplating suicide. So I listened to how they engaged with callers. And, when you can hear a mother calling from, I remember his mother calling from Wayne County, you could hear the cars in the background and the kids. And she was seeking shelter. And when you look at that database and see that it may not be any shelter for her, like that's a real sensitive moment on how you communicate and interact with that individual. Same with the Flint water crisis. The 211 was a designated channel for folks to find water. At the time, the state hadn't really communicated that with the 211. So it was, some organization had to take place with, there's plenty of people that called. The vent, it was this one brother just went off. And I just listened. I used my training, and I was just feeling it like, man, that's effed up. And he just vented. And then at the end, he was like, thank you. I was like, no problem, man. I mean, it was a rough situation. But all those experiences culminated, like how I move now. I still want to help local people, but I got a lot of empathy for folks and can really like step back and say, this is a messed up situation. And it's not always because of the individual. So, that's how I kind of, zigzagged in the public service as a whole. And in this position in particular, connections that I made and talked to the city manager. And, one of his first questions was, what are you into? And I said, poverty reduction. I was serious about that. I had also done my research. I knew the city was interested in that too. So I was like, yeah, this works. It aligns. So yeah, that blossomed, into this position. And I'm grateful because I'm a native. And so the same neighborhoods that, I went in when I was younger and growing up, it's a different lens now, especially like a systems lens, but it's a different lens now. And just thinking like I grew up here and I can make an impact. So I'm happy I'm able to do that.
It's a lot in your story that really just speaks to like resiliency, all the different things like you had to, I want to say overcome, but then also pours into the work that you're doing now. Like you said, you have empathy for people. You were trained to listen, ask probing questions, help guide people through what's really like their lowest could be their lowest point in their life, which isn't something that the normal person knows how to navigate through. And then to take that and use that in your work now is, I don't know. I want to say you can't teach that. Like,
you could learn. I mean, Griffin Place did a lot of training,
mm-hmm.
and that was a good experience. They did a lot of training,
but to like genuinely care.
Oh yeah,
that's what I mean. Is you can tell people, oh, you need to do this, you need to do X, Y, and Z, but to actually have a passion for it, you can't really teach that. So, man, I'm trying to figure out where to go next. Now you hit me with a lot. Because you answered like 4 questions in there, honestly.
I'm efficient.
Yeah. I could tell you've done this before. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. So what would a truly, say, a city of promise for everyone look like to you? Say in 10 years, and this is a question that came up before, if you had unlimited funding, say for shared prosperity, what would the city look like in 10 years?
What is this, a variation of like the silver bullet question?
Uh-huh.
This silver bullet question is so trash. Yeah. Okay. Well, let me put this to rest immediately. There is no silver bullet. Mm-hmm. So anybody out there like questioning others, stop doing that. There is no silver bullet. There are disadvantages that have compounded over time to impact different people. Just like a bank, they have compound interest, and people know about that. We talk about compounded disadvantage. So it's not just one thing that's going to do it. It's going to have to be a mix of things, operating in parallel. Mm-hmm. And so for me, it wouldn't be a silver bullet. If you saying, what would I like to see 10 years from now? I would like to see more of our community participating in and benefiting from a growing economy. I'd like to see our economy grow. I'd like to see more of our residents be able to participate in and benefit from that. Whether that's shared ownership, community investments, etc. I would love to see the racial wealth gap less wide. Mm-hmm. We know it exists. We don't know to what extent, right? We know nationally it's a problem. I can only imagine locally. I don't think it's been any like research done on that. But I mean, when you got a handful of wealthy families whose name has been ringing for years, it's like, yes, I would like to see that opened up tremendously, mm-hmm. right? And so, yeah, I'll leave it there because I think that alone would make some huge changes. But I want to be clear. It's just so much. Close your eyes and throw something at the wall. Mm-hmm. It probably need fixing, mm-hmm. and mm-hmm. And it's stuff outside of our control. I like dreaming, but I also like mm-hmm. Organizing around like reality, mm-hmm. And so it's a lot of stuff that's out of our control, but what's in our control is, how we treat each other, how we can partner. Like in all this federal mess that's happening, like nobody from the feds is saying, well, you can't partner with this organization locally mm-hmm. and make something happen. Mm-hmm. So that's totally in our control. And from what I've observed and experienced, it needs to be more of that, mm-hmm. More of that, and a commitment to like we coming together locally and solving problems, mm-hmm. Because, we all we got, but that's more than enough. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, practically speaking, I would love to see that in 10 years, just stronger partnership in the community of these organizations with large footprints, stronger partnerships with emerging efforts, right? And not like if it's grassroots, you know, not excluding them from what's happening. It just more inclusion at the institutional level, in order to benefit families and residents in the community.
Okay. So you kind of took the air out of that one, you know, because like I'll ask people, I'll be like, what do you want to see? And they'll be like, oh, I want to see this and this would be great. But you're like more analytical and you're like, well, nothing's perfect. So this is how we should approach it.
Yeah. And to have a community where it's in our DNA to solve problems collectively, because and this ain't to throw shade on anybody's passion, but if it, like housing is a pain point right now. If we solved housing, just however one wants to imagine that, it still be other problems. Now, housing can mitigate or knock off some other stuff as well, but it'll still be another problem. So how we gonna do that, right? Child care is a pain point. If we solve child care for however one envisions that, it will still be other problems. So to have in our DNA where it's automatic that we got a problem and we solve it collectively, right? And we learn. We got educational institutions, but to be a learning community, to say, okay, we learn from that experience. This next iteration is going to be better and stronger. You know, yeah, I would love to see that. Simple, but not easy, right? And so, yeah, I'm a Midwest, just pragmatic, blue collar person. You know, I come from blue collar people, and so, again, if I had unlimited whatever, that would be cool. But like you said, just small thing. The quote you mentioned, like small things. It's like small things over time, consistently, and so. Yeah, just something like that. I believe that could make an impact in less than 10 years.
It's more of a strategic approach to everything.
Yeah, and constant.
Rather than just like, oh, you know, we got unlimited college tuition. What you gonna do with it?
I know, and nobody saw that coming. Nobody got the runway. You know, it's like, well, that's one thing, but what about my food situation or whatever? And it's like, again, it's great. It's a start. But I mean, y'all been around for a minute. you seen.
We're about to celebrate 20 years.
Yeah, you seen how even with that, it's still like a bunch of stuff, and it's not even y'all not even designed to deal with it. So again, how are we gonna collectively address that to amplify that gift?
Yeah. Like it is amazing. It's not to throw shade at it.
No, it is. It is absolutely amazing. But I'm married with 4 kids. It's amazing to see a birth. It's amazing to see a human life created, formed, and like here. Yeah, that's amazing. Now you got to raise it.
Right.
You know, some of the shine starts to wear off. And you like, yo, they 12, they driving me crazy. They 17, they driving me crazy. It's like, it's after the amazing part is over. It's work that kicks in consistently. And so, again, yeah, promise is great. But, you know, we in a beautiful building. I'm looking around, you know, it's stickers, it's all type of, y'all got logos everywhere. That ain't, you know, it's still a lot to be done though. You know what I'm saying? And like, I don't want our community to rest on our laurels. Right? It feels that way sometimes. And, you know, I need that kick and that fire, but I sometimes just feel like, oh yeah, we did this amazing thing. You know, that's great. It's like, and so what's next? You're only good as your last hit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, promise 20 years. Awesome. And how many people ain't taking advantage of that? What we doing about it? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is an ongoing problem. And it is why we have, like, it was just Bob by himself, just like administering the scholarship.
Yep.
Now it's 30 plus people.
30 people.
And we still don't have, like, it's like you said, there isn't a silver bullet that'll just fix it. There isn't just a solution that's like, all right, this is going to end poverty. This is going to end people not going to college. Because it's essentially that same question. If you had unlimited funding, which, like, in a sense, we do for sending people to go to school.
Yeah.
But it doesn't solve the barriers. It doesn't solve the problems. It doesn't, and it's not necessarily the solution for everyone. Which, like, it'd be nice if it was, but it's not, and I want to say, like, shared prosperity, like, you guys have this holistic approach of, we need to address barriers, generation approach, which I learned about working here. I was like, what is that? You're helping the parent and the kids. I was like, what? Well, what does that mean exactly? And it's that generational, like, let's go back to help the parent, and then let's keep this trend going. It's that strategic approach that I don't know, I feel like you just have a strategic mindset of, like, all right, what's the problem? Let's just keep fixing it.
Yeah. And again, it's always going to be problems. Like, it's always going to be conflict. As long as humans exist, it'll be problems. And, like, I've been deepening my understanding of systems thinking. Like, a lot of people say systems, and it's literature on systems thinking. I've engaged that literature and deepened my understanding. And a primary takeaway, you can solve one problem and create two. Is plenty of examples where it was something that was agreed upon as a problem, and they solved it or made some headway, and it created two more problems that they didn't see coming. Now what, right? And so, as long as humans exist, it's going to be conflict, it's going to be problems. Some of them of our own creation, some of them somebody else doing it. We got to react to it. But again, for a community this size, I don't know. It just seemed like that the opportunities that we should be punching above our weight, right? So, yeah, I'm not a silver bullet person. Yeah.
Okay. So what you did answer it, but I'm not even looking at my questions anymore. What do you think are our biggest challenges right now? That are getting in the way of us thriving, addressing poverty. What do you think those challenges are?
So I'll table, like, the poverty piece. So they're like macro and micro. So macro, all the problems that we hear about, Kalamazoo got that, right? So, like, unhoused population, housing, child care, access, affordability, educational problems. I mean, y'all the promise. Y'all see what's going on there. The big racism, sexism, like, all those things, big level stuff. Micro level, again, what I said, like, organizations, institutions working together, committing long term capacity, long term capital, right? So, like, think of even a small problem, and when in the context of, like, larger systems, it's not really that small, right? It's gonna take a lot, even to solve, like, the simplest things. So we got to work better together, right? It's not going to be quick. It's not going to be cheap, right? And especially we talking about equity and folks talking about transformational change. It's like you're not going to get transformation at bargain basement prices. You're not going to get transformation because we just meet and convene every month. Like, it's just a lot of work, and people forget, like, the root of collaboration is labor. in the middle of that word. It's right there staring us in the face. It's labor. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And you got to be in it for the long haul. Now, it's stuff we can get done. And we can say, yeah, we got that done. That's great. But again, think about how long we've been talking about poverty in the zoo, in the country, you know, and it's like how long we've been talking about X problem. It's like, it's a lot. It's a lot. And, you know, we just humans. We just trying to do the best we can. Right. And so sometimes it gets overwhelming, even at the institutional level. And thus we had this little short term ish, like, oh yeah, just do this, you know? And so, like I say, it's just a constant oscillation between, okay, what's going on at the bigger levels? You know, what can we do at this micro level to influence that and just keep banging it out, right? Just consistently. So, like I say, man, I'm not the best like orator. I don't like you had quotes. I don't have no quotes. Like I read a lot, but I ain't quoting nobody.
It's just up here.
Yeah, it's
right.
It's just hard work. It's just hard work. And if you committed to doing that, honestly, right? Because that's another thing I've noticed where people try to be nice, and you know they not really here for the people. They just want to. I mean, I want to work in the right way to put myself out of job. You know what I mean?
Right. And that is a tough thing, or it's kind of almost a flaw of the system where if we were successful, like if I started a nonprofit and I say, you know what, I'm going to solve transportation problems for everybody.
Yep.
If I do that, I'm not going to have a job. Like if I actually do it, I'm putting myself out of a job. But at the same time, we're all human. We're all selfish. We all want to gain things. We want to make money and we want to make more. And it's almost just like, okay, every board meeting, I'm going to show you this incremental change that I've been having happen. Yeah. And then I'm going to say, you know, if we want to keep doing this work, then we need to elevate the standing of our organization and XYZ, and I should be the something of this, and I should make this much salary now because I've increased our efforts by 3%. Yeah. Our efforts by 5%. And it kind of takes away from the work. I mean, if you're justifying why you should get more, but at the same time you're doing less.
Right. And unlike for profit, you know, where customers validate if you got a good idea, like the people we trying to serve, they should be validating it, but oftentimes that's not the case. Right. And to your point of the transportation, it's like, yeah, you say, if I'm wildly successful, I put myself out of job. That kind of implicitly says you got into it to get a job, as opposed to I got into this to really deliver value and be of service. If I can do that, and it just so happens that particular thing is no more work for me to do because it's done, and that's, you know, I achieve what I was supposed to achieve, you know. But if you like, I'm getting into this to get a job, then that's, you know, and I'm in the entrepreneur spaces, and being in those spaces and observing and listening, you know, the greatest entrepreneurs don't really look at it like I'm in this to make money. They like, I'm in this to provide value. And a logical following of that is I'm gonna get money. People will compensate me for that, but I'm in this because I think the world will be a better place with this product or whatever. Like time and time again, like the greatest entrepreneurs, they had that in common. You know what I'm saying? So the same thing with service, it's like, if you here to be a service, then do it. And if you get compensated for that, right, hopefully equitably and adequately, and if it turns out you wake up one day like, and no more to do there, you know, cool. Well, yeah, move on, because it's always problems. So we if you accept that premise, you know, it's always going to be something else. And you know, in today's world, especially, if you solve transportation, you will make money. Like, it'll be
somebody's gonna bring you in somewhere else.
Yeah, you'll be like, look, man, I solved transportation. Yeah, you know, so you know, I'm gonna go on a speaking tour. You charge whatever ticket you want for that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, I hear what you're saying in terms of like the little fiefdoms and, you know, people clinging to identity and title and, you know, all this crap. You know, they don't even own those titles. The organization you work for is renting that out to you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's like, again, that would be a huge change. The mindset shift of, you know, institutions wanting to be more of service and us working together in service of others, as opposed to, well, if, you know, if they get that much money, we won't get that much money. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Or whatever. It's just all these little micro things that add up to a huge bunch of nothing. When we look up, actually 10 years from now, dang, what happened to all that? It was a lot of movement, momentum. Yeah, they wanted they money for their organization, or they wanted control of something, as opposed to, you know, really wanting to help the people.
All right, what does being big in the community mean to you? Without the prompt and the information I should have sent you ahead of time.
But big in the community mean to me, being small and humble, remembering that you small. You know, it's, again, accolades cool, and if you really do something, that's fine. But I don't know. I think people get gassed up for that, and I'll be honest, maybe this comes from like my experiences, and like, you know, it took me a long time to get like a master's level degree, you know, and so I'm not impressed with a lot of like accolades and stuff. It's interesting. And again, if people have done stuff transformational, you know, you can't take that away, but you know, I'm sure, you know, you've experienced, but it's like you meet somebody and you be like, man, they just full of themselves. And you like, man, what is this about? Right? So I don't know. Big means small in terms of like humility. And just remember it, man. Like I say, man, you only good as your last hit. Like somebody be like, yo, I did X 20 years ago. I mean, like, dude, that was 20 years ago. I mean, it was cool.
I started the promise 20.
No, yeah. I started the promise, and you be like, yeah, it's still problems, bro. It's like, that's cool. I mean, it's kids that's 20 years old. They don't know you. They don't care what you did. So it's like, yeah, being big. To me, just my opinion, man, just be humble and see where you can be of service. You know yourself enough to be like, you know what, I love what's going on over there, but that ain't for me. You know, just be humble. Don't get full of yourself.
Okay. What advice would you give to emerging leaders in Kalamazoo?
The same thing, and just understand, again, we are humans, and we are people trying to do the best we can with what we got. And, you know, I'm on a leadership journey myself. So I'm saying this in real time. I'm a work in progress, and I struggle with being in the moment. Right. And it's cool now, but I go back to the office and read an email and be like, man, I can't believe this fool sent me this trash. Right? So it's like being in the moment of like understanding the context and not getting too emotional to like ruin relationships or ruin whatever you're trying to work towards. You know, and that's difficult. You know, I would say to emerging leaders is like to just keep learning and keep applying that. Like learn, unlearn, and relearn. Like a Venn diagram. Like always learn stuff. Unlearn stuff that's toxic. You know, I grew up in a certain area. I'm a hip hop head, so I mean it's a lot it's a lot of songs. See, I listened to in formative years like, dude, that is not how I should be engaging with people. So you gotta unlearn that stuff. Stuff from the culture. Something you gotta unlearn. Then you gotta relearn. Like I look at little kids and they genuine curiosity of things. Or their resilience, right? They keep trying stuff. Me and my wife were walking the other day. She got an Apple Watch. And we were walking, she started, oh yeah, the watch kicked in. And she looked, and I'm thinking, I told her, I said, man, remember when we was young, we just go outside. You had no damn watches. Just go outside and just play. It's like as adults, we just lose stuff like that. It's like, man, I don't need no watch. I'm just going out. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get out there, have fun. I'm gonna come back in. I don't know how many steps I took. I feel good though.
I gotta hit my numbers.
Yeah, I don't care about that. I feel good. Like I gotta relearn that. So I mean that Venn diagram of learning, unlearning, and relearning. That's why I would tell emerging leaders like stay on that and be aware of, you know, what you need to bring in, what you need to keep out.
Okay, this is my last question. Who are some people, I know we were throwing shade a little bit, not really, catching strays. Who are some people or organizations that inspire you? Like nobody.
No, I mean, I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head, man. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
You get back to us on it.
Yeah,
We'll post it later.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. You know what? Now I'm inspired by all type of stuff, man. I saw a documentary on ants, and that was inspiring in the sense of like it's a little ass ant, and you know they work collectively. Like it was just all type of stuff running through my mind, and
you're like, why can't we do that?
Yeah, really. You know, and I'm just weird like that. I think about a bunch of stuff, but I can't think of anybody or any organization. It's just too many of them.
Okay. How can people support the work that you're doing?
Contact me. FORD, the letter K, at KalamazooCity.org. You know, I'll put that out there. And yeah, I'm only a coffee cup away. I don't care what somebody want to talk about or learn about, but you know, connection is important, and that actually precedes collaboration. And I should have talked about that more, but like, yeah, connect with folks, and again, I'm humble. I'm honest enough. You know, I may talk to somebody and be like, nah, that probably won't work. You know, in terms of us working together, but you know, I can connect you to somebody else, but just reach out. And, you know, I tend to meet people and listen first. Like, what do they want to do? Not so much like, well, SBK trying to accomplish A, B, and C. Let's talk. What do you want to see in the community? Right? What do you want to work towards in the community as far as changing it? Maybe SBK work is a good fit. Maybe not. But I know other people, you know, let me get you in touch with them. So that's like doing that constantly. Like that's how people can support the work. First and foremost is getting in contact with me. Another way is, we have city commission meetings. They can go there. They open to the public. You can speak for 3 minutes. If you got anything on your mind about what you want to see change, go tell them about it. Mm-hmm. The third way is to volunteer and to be of service. Mm-hmm. Get out there and find something to work towards. Find something that'll open your mind up to different perspectives.
That's good stuff. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm sorry I didn't send you the stuff ahead of time.
Oh, no, it's all good. It's all good.
I normally do. It's normally too much information. I can't believe I didn't send it at all.
No, it's all good.
That's my bad. Yeah. I mean, you dropped so much stuff on us. I'm not even going to close us out. You did it, man. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yep, likewise.